Good morning, Fiberifians. It feels like it has been so long since we've done something. And it feels like it's been so long because it has been so long. So I am just testing to see if everything's running and working and what have you. I've started the stream, but nothing's coming up yet. Hang on. There we go. Refresh. Let's kill that and start it again. There we go. Okay. I'm not sure if everything is working. So hi to everybody. Did anybody get an ad is the question. So what am I knitting? Well, I'll talk more about my projects in just a second. So it has been so long. It really has. So I can't count that little 3-minute-y thing that I did at Bendigo as anything fun. It was more fun. And I'm just thinking maybe I didn't just, hang on a second. I will check something. For a start, I'll kill that. I will have a look. Okay. So, that's fine. That's fine. I'll kill that. All right. Everything's good on this end, mostly. We've got a little bit of a laggy stream, so I'm very sorry about that, guys. Good morning to everybody. There's lots of new names in here, so welcome to all the new people who I've recognized some names from Facebook. I did see that some new people have shared the... Have you muted? Yes, I have muted everything, I think. Actually, do you know what? I haven't muted the laptop. Hang on, here it goes. Muted! That was the last thing. Everything else is muted. Although I have to confess, I cannot mute the dogs. As you can see, I'm still at home. Fiberific still doesn't have a new home yet. So if someone dares to walk in our street, my dogs are likely to lose their minds. You guys have been here before. You know what it's like. Can't really stop them short of locking them in the bathroom, and then all we could hear is them crying. And I don't want to do that. That's just cruel. Crying puppies. I'm just having a little scroll through here. Audio and video is thumbs up and okay. Thank you, Kim. So it looks like no one got an ad even though the video is monetized. So, thanks YouTube. I don't mind. It doesn't matter. You guys are awesome for getting in during the live stream. I don't care. I just hope that anyone watching the what do you call that? Replay. The replay. They get an ad. Yeah, we'll wish ads on the replay watchers. Sorry, replay watchers. Oh, Kim refreshed and got an ad. Sorry, Kim. I didn't get ads, lucky me, but I had to refresh as the video froze. Yeah, sorry, Freaky Geek. I don't know what's going on here. I checked all my different signals and I don't have the greatest upload on any of the options that I have at the moment. How is Georgie? He forgiven you for leaving him yet? Yeah, but it took a few days. Those of you that don't follow me on social media, while I was away, I got a message from my husband telling me that they were taking Georgie to the vet. Georgie is our Shih Tzu Cross Maltese. I keep looking over there because he's sitting right there. And he stopped eating. When I left, he didn't eat. And it got to the point where my husband and daughter were getting really worried about him. And so they were really stressed out about it. And the vet just said, look, he's going to eat eventually. She's only away for a week. So a week with no food won't kill him. And I'm like, really? That was the option? Kim's asked, if you have YouTube Red, do you still get those ads? The answer is no, you don't. You get no ads if you have YouTube Red. I have YouTube Red. And that's why, is I get no ads and I also get Google Music for free. So, that's why I do it. I like to support the creators as much as I can, but I also don't like to have ads. And YouTube Red, in my analytics, you get paid a different rate for people who've watched with YouTube Red versus not. And so it's really good. I've just gotten a message from Fiber Lily who says she's watching, but she can't comment because she doesn't have a channel. Fiber Lily, all you have to do is create a logon. You don't have to post videos. You can just create a YouTube logon. That's all you've got to do. And we'd love to have you in the chat. We really would. Let me have a look here. Daigo, yay, I can see you and hear you. Welcome back. We missed you. I missed you guys as well so much. There were so many things that happened over the last few weeks that I'm like, okay, I have to remember to tell the Fibriffians. I've got to tell them. I've got to remember. And I've forgotten most of it because I did not write it down. And you guys know, you know, I don't write it down and that's it. I don't remember it. Claire is also in the chat today. Claire from Bob Wilson 123. She has made it back from her journeys in the UK. 6 weeks she was away for. It felt like an eternity. If you guys thought it felt long with me being away, oh, it was dreadful. And Crochet Clock, I believe she had a week off last week as well. So you guys had no live streamers. I'm so sorry. So Kim's asking, then you don't get paid? I'm not quite sure what you mean. So if people have YouTube Red, I still get paid. I actually get paid a little bit more if they watch with a YouTube Red account. Kim says if she has a Google or Gmail account, then she will already have an account. Yeah, she just has to like add it to her list. Absolutely. Lots of people telling Sally to join in. Good morning, Mel. So many hi messages. Hey, Jenny, is it 2 a.m. for you today? Jenny watches from, oh my God, I always forget, is it Norway or Sweden? Oh, it's terrible. Somewhere very cold in the UK. Not the UK, oh my God, in Europe. Last Thursday was so boring without the live. I'm so sorry, Emma. Hey, Natalie. So I've got to meet Fiber Lily and Natalie Power. Natalie's Tea Talia. And also Deanne from Addy Day Designs over at Bendigo Chiffon Wool, and it was so amazing. Kylie is logged in now. Hey Kylie, Kylie is Fiber Lily, you guys. So we've got everybody here. Sweden, thank you guys. I feel so stupid. I'm sorry, Jenny. It's so good to see you all. It's so good to see you all. So in the little blurb, I'm not sure if anyone reads those things. I said that I wanted to talk about some projects that I'm doing, that Bendigo, how Bendigo went and how I cope with that long drive. But I also need some help. I'm torn between starting 2 different projects, and they're different, but they're good. And I don't know what to do. So I'm going to like totally pick your brains and get your help, because you guys are awesome and are really good at helping me with this sort of stuff. It's not just you we miss, it's chatting to everyone else who's here. It totally is. It's like just seeing the conversation happening and knowing that this conversation wasn't happening while I was away. I felt really bad, but I just, especially last week, because I was home, but I was not over the drive yet. I had a problem this year, which was I made a very bad decision on the way home, and I stayed in less than stellar accommodation, and it was to hang out with friends and stuff like that. And so the reasons why were good, but the actual room ended up being a bit of a nightmare. No hot water. I had to have a lukewarm shower in Dubbo at like 10 o'clock at night. It was cold. But I put up with it. I persevered and I had the shower. I'm like, you know what? It was the kind of accommodation that it was, and I was probably the last one to have a shower, and you know, like that just happens. But then through the night, all I could hear was the noise of the street below me. And it was not a busy road. It wasn't a main highway or anything, but street sweepers and all that sort of stuff. And so I had the worst night's sleep. The worst night's sleep, especially considering I had to get up. What was I getting up at? 5 or 6? 6, I think, to start the drive back from Dubbo back to Brisbane, which is about 850 kilometres. I can't tell you in miles, my friends. I am rubbish at converting. So if someone can chuck in how many miles, in total my Brisbane to Bendigo runs are about 1,600, 1,700 kilometres. I do it over 2 days. And so on the way home, I was so tired that last day. So I just kept pulling over and just having power naps in, like, there's all these little alcoves off the highway. And so I just having little, you know, little naps and little naps and little naps. And I got home. I was so glad to be home. But for about 3 days, every time I closed my eyes, all I could see was like white lines streaking past and one down the middle. And I did a little bit of research. Apparently it's quite common for people that highway drive. I'm just like, oh my gosh, no idea. So yeah, so it took a couple of days for me to get over that, and I had a bit of like motiony thing. Like when I went on the cruise, I came back and was rocking for days, and I kind of felt a bit like that as well. So I don't know what was going on this time. None of that normally happens. Kim says, I'm upset that you're not using red cables and steel tips. Well, Kim, there's a reason for that. The reason is, with all the Fibrifix stuff in my house, I couldn't find my red cable interchange set. I could only find my bamboo set. And I got a fair idea where it is, but it's under so much stuff that I just couldn't dig it out. And this is a project that I'm making. I have a new niece, and she arrived while I was away in Bendigo. Her name is Freya, and she looks adorable, as new nieces I want to do. And I started making a unicorn. Turns out that while the pattern just said, the designer said, hey, I don't want any more sort of handheld sized toys for my child. I wanted to make something bigger. I thought, oh yeah, cool. It'll be like a little cute thing. Turns out I think that she'll be able to ride this unicorn when she's about 3 years old. So it's taking slightly longer than I thought it would. I'm going to persevere with it, but I needed something a little bit like more like, because that's why I was crocheting a toy. It was like quick. Because I was a little bit sick when I got back, so we haven't met the new baby yet. So because I don't take germs to new babies, it's a thing I have. And so I've decided, I had this beautiful, I don't even know how to say this, you guys, Toot Garook cotton. Is that right? Anyway, it's a Bella Baby brand. I just got it from Spotlight. I bought it ages ago. I've got 4 balls of it, and it's been sitting in my stash. And so what I'm doing is, I have to look up the name of the pattern. I'm terrible. I should have had it ready. But it's just a, where's that cable? It's just, you start at the bottom. It's a freebie, and it puts the border in and everything as you go, and you just keep going. And it's sort of like it's a corner to corner basically. And so I thought I'll go for 2 balls and see how big I get, because I've got another 2 balls to go down. I'm hoping it'll be big enough. It'll be big enough for like a cot. Fingers crossed. Andrew says, Mum and Dad don't like staying at Dubbo. The first time they stayed there, someone was rattling on their caravan door and a few things got stolen. Oh, I normally stay in one particular place and it's fantastic, but this year they were booked out. Natalie said that it was the same for her when she got back from her cruise in July and felt that way for a few days. Yeah, I think your whole brain equilibrium just messes up. Stacey is listening. We are listening while we are driving today. Well, have fun, Stacey, and drive careful. Tanya says, I got sick after getting back from Bendigo too. Yeah, I generally do. Because Tanya was down there as a stall holder as well, I think. And I seem to always get sick coming home from Bendigo, but what it is I'm under so much pressure and there's so much stress to get everything done and everything ready before Bendigo and then you have the Bendigo and you're trying to just keep it together and, you know, be all like put together and stuff. And I try to be really giving while I'm down there as well. Like, you know, I try to be as helpful as I can to people, and yeah, it's just me. And so I try really hard to do all of that, and then you sort of get home, you've got the stress of the drive home, and then that's it, your whole body relaxes like, oh, we're home, and the germs go, oh, we're home, yay. So yeah, so you know, that's how it is. Hang on, I've missed heaps of stuff. Kim's done some of these, it's very cute. Daigo says, I'm all sparkly. I didn't know the glittery tulle I'm using for the doll gown would shed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, glitter's the worst. Lynn says, Kim Nelson says, yes, it's a funny name, but I bought the same yarn when my granddaughter was born. It's so soft. Like, it's a pure cotton. I don't even know if I got it on sale. I think I just bought it because it was pretty. Because I do that. I totally do that. And let me have a look here. Let's see what meterage we've got. It's 145 meters to a 50 gram ball. And it's in such the prettiest colors. You can buy solid colors as well. But I just grabbed 4 of this. I've got 4 of the same dial-up. They don't look like they're the same dial-up, but they're definitely the same dial-up. And yeah, so I've got that. And I'm really enjoying this. Oh, excitement. We went and saw Rhett and Link live in Brisbane. They came to do their mythical tour down under. I bought merch. Where's my merch? I'll put something on it. I bought merch. I bought the Good Mythical tote. So excited. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you go. The Good Mythical tote. Now, I've got plans for this tote. I'm going to, you know, make it good. So I want to make it into a project bag. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think you can see because of the black. Let me put something paler here. I don't know. I'll put my hands here. But I'm going to create like some rectangle pieces with the zipper so that I can zip it closed. And then I've got, you know, more protection for my projects. But this is totally going to be a project bag. Thank you, GMM and the Good Mythical Morning and Mythical Crew and all those guys who create these things. So that was fantastic. But I found I had to catch the train, which I don't normally do. Those of you that know me know I'm really funny about public transport and sitting near people. And anyway, we had a problem with logistics. It was a Monday, so Tim was going to have to go straight from work, which means he's got his car. We didn't want to pay for 2 lots of parking in the city, so me and Abby caught the train in, and we were knitting. Abby actually did some of the stitches on this, which was so nice. She hasn't knitted in so long, and she's sitting at the train station bored, and I'm just knitting. I'm like, here, knit some stitches. And so she's sort of just picked it up and started knitting a couple of stitches. I have the cutest photo, which I promised not to share anywhere, so I might put it in the, you know, Fiverific fun zone, because she's not in there, because I'm the worst mother. Yeah, so it's a fantastic project for like watching television with subtitles and all these things I haven't been able to do for ages because I'm like focus. So speaking of which, I probably should knit some stitches. But yeah, so you know, I'm just trying to get like all this stuff done, make this toy, do this, and I'm just like, oh man, this is insane. I just need a bit of a mindless project that's still useful. And I spotted this pattern, just went, yep, that's it. That's what I'm doing. Kim says public transport mixing with the common folk. Mixing with the common germs, you mean? Pippin says add eyelets. I probably could, but I don't know. I'm just liking it as is for now. If I do another one, I probably would. It's all to do with the stitches being closer together. It would look fine if you wanted to do single crochet. I've missed something, haven't I? Lion Brand have a pattern called a diagonal comfort blanket. I think I am using it is some big brand yarn. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back because I totally missed something here. You could have done the little rabbit that starts the same, takes one ball of yarn. I could have, but I wanted a unicorn. I don't like any animal that takes any yarn at all. Yeah, exhausted sick is not good. Kim Selin, see how nice that variegated looks? Oh yeah, so I actually started 4 different projects with this yarn because I wanted it fast, so I was going to crochet it. And this yarn did not like being crocheted, especially down here. Like when I'm looking at these sort of, they would start with a little bit of purple and then was moving into this pink, and it was looking really messy, and there was a bit of pooling. I mean, I gave up pretty quick. Like, I was just like, nope, this yarn needs to be knitted. And it is because of they're longer repeats of colour for sure, but when you're crocheting, it means you've got you've got like little patches of colour, and it just doesn't work. So yeah, so definitely needed to crochet this, knit this one, in my opinion. I mean, it could depend. I tried doing a mitered square blanket with little single crochets. I tried doing some lacy sort of thing, which I've kiboshed more because I decided I didn't want baby fingers caught in it rather than the colour pooling. But there was colour pooling as well. Where are we? It's public group though. She can still see all the posts. She just can't post unless she's... That's true, but she totally wouldn't do it. Eyelets to the bag to thread your yarn through. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Pip and Poppycock. Crochet Clock says, we were having a conversation just about how variegated yarn doesn't work as well in crochet as it does in knitting. Yeah, that's why I dye the things like Colson and Sif. They're a semi-solid variegated, and in each crochet stitch you see variegation. That's because it's really close together. It's not like little sections, it's just complete pooling, marling I should say. I totally agree with that for traveling to work on simpler projects. Absolutely. Absolutely. Crochet clock says Kim's fired. Okay, Kim's fired, everybody. Oh, because she put spiders up. Oh my God, Kim. We got the Aldi catalogue yesterday, and there's a National Geographic 10 Deadliest Australian Spiders book on sale. Good job. And Crochet Clock is correct. We'll be taking the spanner back. You don't get to post spider pictures, you. We had a spider issue here this morning. Total sidetrack. But it can't have been such a bad spider because A, I can't find it. And B, Abby normally has this death peel that she just... like it's really... It's like she's being stabbed to death while having, you know, her arms ripped off or something. Very graphic, I know, I'm sorry. But it's very, like, the scream is just blood chilling. But today it was more like a, ah! And then I've gone in and there's all spray all over the mirror. And I'm like, what is on the mirror? And she goes, oh, there was a massive spider. And I got it with the toilet deodorizer. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to kill a spider. It's just going to make it angry. How big was it? And she was like, oh, it was this big. And then about 5 minutes later, I'm like, how big was that spider? And she goes, oh, it was this big. And I swear the spider got smaller and smaller every time we talked about it. Yeah. Lots of spider conversation now. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of spiders, you guys. You know that. So, also, back to the list of things. I'll just have a sip of coffee. So I'm working on this, which I've got. I'm still going on Abby's blanket. It's not finished. I got sidetracked, but I have pulled it back out. And if I decide to get sick of knitting, I've got it right here, waiting for me to crochet it. But I'm just going to pop this aside for just a second. Just let me just make sure these are safe. I'm just going to pop this over here out of the camera. Pop that over there. Because, you guys, Deanne from Addy Day Designs let me make kits for her at Bendigo. And I've got 3 left. And I'm thinking I'm going to make one of them. But I'm torn which one to steal out of my stock, okay? So this is the shawl. You guys know the shawl, right? It's the one I made in the blue and the pink and the white. It's like a really pretty scarf. So that's the pattern. And so I've got this kit. And so what's happened is yesterday was it yesterday or the day before? I was listening to Stephen Knits live on Instagram. And he was saying that everyone needs a bit of yellow in their life. And I realized I have nothing yellow, like 0. So there's this one. So if you guys want one, like, tell me, because they're for sale. They're not up on the website. They're $85 Australian, plus $8 postage if you're in Australia. They're under 500 grams. So if I had to ship it to the US, I think it's about $20 Australian at the moment. For those of you that are in the US, the Aussie dollar is crap. So if you need stuff from Australia, totes get it because it's cheap for you. There is this one as well. So it's got some of the pink and grey that we dyed on YouTube, and some blue and some really nice dark grey. I can't normally wear yellow either, but I think it's a highlight colour with other colours. I think I could get away with it. So there's that one. But there's also, I see it, like I've even opened this one, which I could totally re-stick it down. But then there's this one, which has got this turmeric yellow that the whole time I was like scanning yarn and getting everything for Bendigo, every time I saw this turmeric yellow, which was one of my fail colours, it was supposed to be the yellow out of my superheroes, out of my Stones Club, and it's too orange for it. It was like too much in between the two and I needed it yellower. So it was like the fail. And so I had 3 of these that were the fail, and I'm like, oh my God, I really like them. So I made more. And then I've got that one of those speckled that we did on YouTube as well, and some lake, which I really like this lake. So I'm really torn over which one I should keep. I don't know if all 3 of those can fit in the shot. We'll soon find out. I'll push it over. There we go. So yeah, so I've got those 3 that, you know, I can steal from myself. And it's just like I'm so torn. But then the other thing is, because there's more, this is the crochet project I want to start. But then I have another knitting shawl project I want to start. And I can't remember the name of the pattern. Oh. Someone posted it in my Instagram feed when I posted these colours originally, when I put up the Infinity Stones pack. And they were like, oh my God, I want to make that. And then I was like, oh, it would look so good with like the storm and the pack, like as a shawl. So you have 2 skeins of storm and a pack of the colours. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So I'm torn. Like, which do I steal from myself? I'm having a scroll back through because do all 3 fit in the shop? Oh, they do. Look at that. I can even bring it over a little bit. The third one, everyone's saying the third one. I like that warm yellow, like close to the gold sheet. Yeah, that's the thing. It's definitely a warmer yellow. It's not a cold yellow, which I really like. I would do the turmeric, the lake, and the grey. Who said that? Where am I? Kim. But that's not all part of the kit, Kim. And I want the speckle. I like the speckle. So Andrea, do the kit with the turmeric. I love that fail yellow pack. I should totally call it fail yellow. I was tempted. And then it was like, no, that's totally a turmeric colour. Like, when you can see it in the reel, it's definitely... Look, I can pull it out because this one's open. It looks a bit softer there. And it looks probably too bright there. It's in between these 2 cameras. Silly cameras. And then this one has got, like... bits of the lake colour, the colour that I used to dye the lake, and some pink and some of the yellow. It's a slightly different yellow, but it still works. But anyway, I'm thinking you guys are right. This one kept singing to me. This pack kept singing to me. So I think I'm going to go with that one. Where are we? Neat how one camera the colours pop and the other is mute. I don't know about neat. It's frustrating trying to get the colours right. Like, it's something that dyers talk about a lot online, is like looking at different cameras, and like what you're watching it on will also change how it looks. And I'm looking at a screen here with both cameras on it so I can see what's in the shot. But I've also got my phone down here and it looks different on both devices. So it's just really weird. It's very weird how it all works. Wait for the failed yellow, call it the warning yellow. I like how the speckle yarn picks up the other 2 colours. Yeah, that's kind of why I did that, to be honest. I had a lot, when I was dyeing, I used the colour that I used to make this in a lot of things. And I realised very late on Saturday, late Saturday, so I had Sunday, that I had a lot of speckles and not a lot of semi-solids. And I normally go the other way. I normally have a lot more semi-solids and hardly any speckles. So Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning, I mad dyed. I did a whole pile of dyeing. I got the lake. I got a whole pile of this dark storm. Milo, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the Milo. I've got some over there. And also, I muted you. I totally muted you. You guys saw me mute it. It's unmuted again. How did that happen? I must have accidentally done that. Okay, it's muted again. It's muted again. So there was the Milo. I've got them over here if you want me to go and grab them to show you the colours. So there was the Milo, the flat white, and the lake and the storm that I quickly just dyed. I did like batches of 9 or 10 of them. So I think we put these ones aside, and I'm going to make this one. Blurred shawl for me. Woohoo! Thank you. You guys are the best. Totes the best in helping me pick stuff. Cindy, what good is the pack without the yarn? Are you selling the packs too? Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, I am, Cindy. So, they were, the 3-pack is 85 Australian dollars. It's 300 gram skeins. The pattern calls for 250 grams, but I couldn't choose which one to cut in half because you can decide which one you want to be dominant. So I didn't want to leave it at that. So, So yes, the packs are available. They're not on my website. If you say to me, hey, send me a message, because there's only the 3 of them left at the moment. I'll do some more later. But we've got the pink and the blue and the dark grey, and we've got the purple, the soft yellow, or the buttercup yellow. What have I called that? Sunlight. And then that one. So they're the only 2 packs left, because I'm totes keeping that one. You can't have it now. I've told myself I get to have it, so I'm having it. So, you know. Are you going a blurred or another sway? I'm going to go a sway. Did I say blurred? I meant sway. I'm going to go a sway with that, because I really like wearing the sway. It sits really nicely, but the colours I've got in the other one, they don't, like, I made that to contrast, like, really hard, so you could see the 3 different sections. For those of you that haven't seen my other one, it's just here. And I made it in, like, a pink, an undyed, and the tiff. So it's in Joss, tiff, and undyed. And so I just wanted it to be really contrasting, so you could see it, of, like, the different sections of what you would choose for your kits. And I really like it, and it goes really well with I've got a tiff beanie, so it goes really well with that. And then I've also got a ridiculous pink puffy coat that I wear to Bendigo, so it worked with that as well. So that was good, but I want something that I wear more often too. So up here I don't wear the puffy coat or the beanie, but sometimes I want something for around my neck. Kirby was waiting on Facebook for the live. Oh, I'm sorry, Kirby. I'm sorry for the confusion. I love the pink and the blue and the dark grey one. Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I really liked how they popped against each other. The pink is, that's one we dyed together. That's one we did on YouTube a couple of weeks ago. So, and that's the blue that we did the video before, the lying video before it, that I needed to match it. No, it's not. That one's just tiff. I'm sorry. The other blue is slightly different. But yeah, they work. They just work. I like it. So if you guys want one, just send me a PM and we'll work out who wants that. You can't wear a beanie around your neck, can you? No, not normally. No, there's normally a head in the way. Kim says, I only worked out yesterday that Kirby was Marla. Oh, sorry, Kim. Oh dear. I get a bit confused sometimes too. Like, some people's names are totally different. What do you mean there's only 19 likes? How many people are watching? You guys need to sort that out for me. That would be great if you could sort all that out. So how many, I don't know, I can't tell. Hang on, I'm just looking at my phone to see if I can see how many people. Oh, well, my phone says there's only 4 likes. So let me just refresh that, because that's wrong. Kill and refresh. Kill and refresh. Oh, okay. So according to my phone, there's 18 likes. And I can't see how many people are watching. Anyway, it's not that bad. You guys are all here having a good time, right? We're having a good time. So there was, I'm just running through the things I want to talk about. We've got my knitting. I'll pull that back in. I've got my mythical bag that I love so much, and I'm going to make into a into a zippered tote thing. And then then there's this this guy here, which is the pack of Infinity Stone colours. Those of you that know, I'm Marvel Tragic. I can't deny it because it's the truth. And so each year I come up with something that's Marvel inspired. And so I made this beautiful pack. They're 25 gram skeins. Yeah, 25 gram skeins of the beautiful sunflower sock yarn. And it's 42. And I want to make... Kim popped up a link to a thing, but I didn't click it. Sorry, Kim. I'll have to have a look. But in the Instagram feed, in the Fibrific Instagram feed, where I've got these in like a little pile with some Marvel stuff behind them, a lady whose name I cannot remember, I'm sorry, linked a pattern. I went and bought that pattern. Do you know what? Hang on a second. I'm just going to use my phone and find the silly pattern, because I bought it and and it'll be in my mail. Go away. Go. Stop that. It'll be... Which mail? It'll be under just me. Where are we? Maybe it'll be under Fibrific. Let me look here. You get an email telling you when you've... Oh, here we go. It is called the Slow Exposure Shawl. Kim was totally right. Slow Exposure Shawl. And so I bought the pattern and I love it. I think it looks great and I'm totes going to make it. But I'm tossing up whether or not to kidnap one of these kits and steal more stock for myself, because why not? Hang on, I just need to make that big again. Or it's definitely the brighter, guys. It's definitely not muted, this pack. Or whether or not I still have bits of, do you guys remember the rainbow sock kit? I still have some of that. So, like bits of it like that aren't, you know, I've got all skeins that didn't weigh enough and I'll just batch them together. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it was the Slow Exposure shawl. Yeah, quite right. Maria's in the chat. Welcome in, Maria. Oh, hang on, it scrolled up. Maria said she's new here. Where are we? There's lots of new faces in here, you guys. It's awesome. I'm new here. You are lovely to watch and very interesting. Thanks, Maria. Welcome to the chat. Don't be telling anybody how these movies ends. Don't be this. I actually had a bit of a discussion started over on my just personal Facebook wall about, because in Australia there's been all this stuff. I'll just knit some stuff. There's been all this discussion about how our movie cinemas are not selling out and how, you know, people are going to the movies less and all that sort of stuff. And you're just like, I'm sitting there thinking, well, I know why I go to the movies less. And it's purely because of funds. And so I put up a little post about it, you know, about how there are some movies I'll make the effort and I will catch them and I will see them. And then other movies I'll try to see and then I miss them and I get a bit miffy. But sometimes I look at it and just go, I cannot deal with the cinema right now. I'm a big girl and sitting in those little seats with someone right next to me that I don't know, not comfortable with. And sometimes I, you know, end up in a movie cinema by myself because Tim doesn't want to see the movie and it's not appropriate for Abby, so I go on my own, which I haven't done for a while, I must confess. But I balk at spending $15 for a movie ticket, especially for a bit of an ordinary movie. Like for a good movie, I am in. I will pay that money. And I will, you know, even up it and spend more and go gold class or something like that. If it's a really good movie like Infinity War or something like that. And then, you know, and that depends on the cinema. What was that? There was a funny noise in my house. It freaked me out. And then, you know, like it depends on the cinema and it depends on your session. And if you go on the wrong day, you end up paying more. And anyway, so I put this post up and all my local friends were like, oh, I go down to, you know, this particular cinema to do it. And I'm like, I am not going to drive an hour away, which means I'm driving past basically 5 or 6 different cinemas to go and get $8 tickets. You know, I'm just like, I'm not going to do that. And I don't know, I just was, I have to confess, I got a bit indignant. I didn't say anything, but I thought it a lot. Like, I'm not driving that far to get a cheap ticket. I don't live on the Bayside anymore. I live on the south side, like, and south, like nearly the Gold Coast. Did you finish the teal and grey rug? No, I did not. I didn't. It's here. It's here. I'm still going on it. It's another good project for you know, mind numbing. But I do have lots of projects on the go. So I'm going to stop talking about the movie thing because it's not on my list. I wasn't going to talk about it. I am a Cinebuzz member with Event Cinemas. And yes, I do keep an eye out for the deals. I really do because, you know, it makes a difference. And I also get a free ticket every now and again, which is good because sometimes it's the only time I can see a movie. But I get frustrated with the cinemas screaming poor because people aren't coming anymore. And it's just like, there's a reason why people don't come. It's because we don't want to spend $15 on a ticket, then $15 for a drink and some popcorn that's semi-cold and not all that nice, just salty, not even buttery. And then you have to squish in, and it's normally loud or quiet. You've got no control. Anyway, I'm going to stop whinging about that. I know you guys are sitting here thinking she's planning more projects and yet she hasn't finished the others. And there's quite a few I haven't finished. I haven't finished my jumper. I haven't finished Abby's blanket. I haven't finished any of the Mystery Lace Club stuff. I haven't finished the unicorn that I just started. What else haven't I? I've got so many spinning projects that I want to do. And what it is you get to, when you're driving, you know, 1,600 kilometers by yourself, you get some reflection time because you can't do any work because you've got to focus on the road and you can't do it because you're driving a vehicle. And I am a project hussy. Yes, I am. Totally. Excuse me. Sorry. Totally. You're right, Kim. And I just realized that I have not had the time to complete anything other than the sway shawl, Abby's blankets, which were completed ages ago. Honestly, so long ago, I don't even remember it now. And I just realized that each week when I'm planning out my time, I'm so busy planning out work time and what work needs to be done and school runs and Abby things and family things that I'm not actually allowing any time now for me to enjoy my craft. And now that I don't have this stress of rent, I am going to step back a little, like nothing dramatic, but I'm just going to slow back a few things just so I can give myself back the time each day, even just a smidge. Like these live stream days are awesome because I get an hour and a half where I get to hang and chat with you guys, and I can work on whatever project I want normally. And excuse me, I started coughing and my throat's playing up now. And so now I've got all this stuff that I'm like, right, I want to make these things and I want to get them done. Cindy says, I want to learn to hold my working yarn like that. Cindy, I happen to have some videos. I'm not sure if you're new here or not. Your name's not super familiar. Look for the Fibrific Continental Knitting videos and I show you how to do all of this. Jennifer says, you're making me feel guilty. You have reasons for UFOs. Jennifer, I had UFOs before I had legit reasons for them. I had UFOs because I have startitis. I love starting new projects. I love it. I enjoy, like, I was reading somewhere that buying yarn is a different hobby than using your yarn. And I totally agree. And I also am beginning to think that planning a project, sourcing yarn for a particular project, finding a pattern for your yarn, I think that is another enjoyment thing. So yeah, it's also that way. Are not unfinished works just whips? I'm not quite sure if I get that. I'm sorry. Quick maths, there are 275-ish ends to go. Oh no, sorry Kim, sorry, you should have done your ends as you went. You know, I wouldn't have done it. I'd have 275 ends now. Sally says, I have so many crochet whips, but I haven't picked up a hook in about a week. But I did start my third knitted hat yesterday, and I'm so excited that I made my first official, I'm going to assume you mean Etsy sale. So congratulations on your first official sale. That is awesome. It's so exciting when you realize that it's a feeling I get at Bendigo, actually. When people buy knitting needles or tools or something, I'm like, yeah, cool, they like the same tools as me, that's great. But when people buy the yarn that I've dyed, that's a totally different feeling because there's more of me in that. There's more like I decided to put those colors together, or you guys, you know, the last few of these, some of you guys did that. But yeah, it's a feeling of like, oh my God, someone likes what I've made. And it's exciting. And it's exciting every time. Like when I pack an order where someone's ordered something from my website and they've bought yarn, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I really like it. So yeah, I really do understand the feeling when you get something sold that you've created. Jenny says, I have a total of 6 UFOs right now. I probably have 6 crochet UFOs. So, oh, more stuff, you guys. Like, look at this time. We're doing really well for time. More stuff, more stuff. I'm not sure if you guys saw the post that I made on Instagram of the haul I brought home from Bendigo. So I thought I would show it to you, or at least bits of it. I'll just finish this row. But while I was at Bendigo, I was very restrained this year. Last year, I went manic. I'm like, it's a good year for sales, and every year I hardly buy anything, and I'm really, really a good girl. And last year I just went blah and bought all the things. I'm like, I like that yarn, I shall purchase it. Oh, I like that fiber, I shall purchase it. So I bought tons of stuff. And so it's just, you know, last year was insane, and I still haven't used most of the stuff I bought last year. So this year I was like, okay, trying to be good, but I also want to support the other stall holders. And so I bought a few things, and one thing I bought, I'll tell you the story behind, but yeah, yeah. Kim wants pudding balls. Oh my gosh. I want more pudding balls. We ran out. They all got eaten. Apparently I can order them online, so I might have to do that, because pudding balls, oh my God, pudding balls. Did I put a link up in Fibrific Fun Zone and where you could get those? Because holy cow, they're amazing. Where are we? I call it my first official one because my actual sale was from my sister, so I don't really count that. Hey, I'm agreeing with Freaky Geek and everybody else. A sale is a sale is a sale. If a person has paid you money, it is a sale. It does not matter. So yeah, it's a sale. So this might be your first Etsy sale, but it's not your first sale. So family are quite good. It feels really nice when they support you by actually paying for bits and pieces, even if you give them a bit of a family discount or whatever. My sales went fine at Bendigo this year. I did pretty well. It was a bit up on last year, but not a huge up on last year. I think I've hit the limit of what sales I can reach based on what I can carry in the X-Trail. So I'm going to be having some looks into being able to get more stock down there. Because I didn't sell out. Someone asked earlier if I sold out. I didn't sell out, and I don't expect to sell out. But I did sell a lot. And I did sell out of 4mm things. And even though I had double 4mm, 4mm in Australia is a really common size for hooks and needles and all that sort of stuff. So I sold out of those, and I sold out of a lot of the sort of sock sizes and shawl sizes, but not of all the big sizes. Chrissy Gabani's asking pudding balls. So there's a stall at the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show. They sell Christmas puddings and all sorts of stuff, but they also sell these things. They're about, I don't know, like this big, like, I don't know how best to describe them based on actual real life things. I would say they're about 10 centimeters round, so about 4 inches round. They're quite large. Oh, maybe not quite 10, maybe 7, 3 inches round. They're quite large. Like, you take quite a few bites out of one. And what it is this ball of pudding, like Christmas pudding. And this jar that I got had 4 different flavors of pudding. So there was date and something. There was orange. There was cranberry and orange. There was all sorts of really beautiful flavors, but they're based on a pudding, but different fruits and stuff and different flavors mixed into it. Date and butterscotch, that's what it was. That was so nice, that one. But then what they do is they make the pudding ball, and then they dip it in chocolate and drizzle it with different colors depending on what the flavor is. So delicious. And not compressed. Like, you know when you get cake balls and people have like gone squash, 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 and it's hard, and it wasn't like that at all. It's nearly like they're made in this circle. I've got no idea how they're made, but it's nearly like they're made this way. And it was so delicate and beautiful and soft and moist. Oh, just eat them all. You wouldn't be true crocheters if you didn't have whips or you. It's true. But there are some people that are project monogamous. They make one thing and they buy the yarn for that thing and they don't have a stash. And I don't relate at all. Where are we? I think it's a type of yarn or a tool to make yarn balls. I could be wrong. Oh, I'm not sure. Pudding balls a different name for Tim Tam. No, they're not. They're totally different than Tim Tams. was it the same sort of thing that sold this year as last year? Mostly, but the kits went really well, which I didn't have last year. Yeah, there was some similarities. There was some new stuff from Chow Gu. Chow Gu sets I always sell out of. I always feel like a real cow on Saturday afternoons when I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have any. But yeah, I can't do anything. It comes to a point where I've got to work out how much I can spend on stock. Like, because I have real cash flow issues. Like there's not as in really bad, but as in they're real, and I can only spend so much money. So I have that. Plus, I've also got to make sure that I don't overstock one thing that's bulky to take space out of the car for something else. So I've got space versus cash versus what people want. So yeah, it's a balancing act. It's kind of fun. You just gave me a fabulous idea for next year's State Fair deep fried food contest. Oh dear. Okay, but pudding for you is like a soft cake. It's boiled fruit cake sort of thing, or steamed. Sometimes it's steamed. I normally do boiled, but I have a feeling this one might have been steamed. They were delicious. That's one way to make sure it's yours and all yours. Yeah. The date and butterscotch is so good. I like they are mine. You may not have them. You may have these other ones that I haven't even tried, but this is mine. Natalie says, damn, what did I miss? I had to enter a call. We're just drooling over pudding balls. But yeah, it's like a fruitcake thing. How did your blinglets do? I sold heaps of blinglets. I always sell heaps of blinglets. I had like over, oh gosh, what did I have? I had over 100 packs of the 3 different sizes. And I nearly sold out of large. I think there's only like 2 packs of large left. I can make more. I've got more stuff to make them here. But yeah, blinglets went really, really well. I love the blinglets. Why do we always end up talking about food? I'm hungry now. Oh dear. The date and butterscotch is totally divine. I thought it was cakey. I have an idea of what it was. Yep. Yeah, it's got flour and stuff in it like that. It's like yeah. I don't know, do you guys do Christmas puddings in the US? I know it's a very British thing, and so therefore because we are, ex-convicts, convict nation being Australia, we do have a lot of our food sort of influences from the UK, but we're starting to multiculturalize. Freaky Geek's starting to get hungry too. No, we don't. Not really. Sounds like a bit of a bliss ball. I don't know what a bliss ball is, but I definitely felt bliss eating it, and I really didn't want to share. So I'm going to push it aside and show you what I purchased for myself at Bendigo. I'll move these as well. Beep, 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 beep. Have you guys seen my Jedi project bag I made for myself? I love this project bag. It's like a drill Jedi fabric with some bright green inside because, there was hardly any Yoda, so I had to do something. So, and it's all lined. I love this thing. I love it to pieces. I'm so glad I made it. I'm going to make some more and bigger ones. Okay. Stash enhancement from Bendigo. Let me have a look here. I found their website, but their balls aren't on them, just the full-size puds. I think if you contact them, they'll do the balls and send them through. Bob Wilson, we were talking about Bendigo and pudding balls, and we've just cleared the table so I can bring out my Bendigo haul. Yeah, Dickens has puddings, doesn't it? Are they baked and then steamed or steamed from the batter? They're steamed from the batter. So they make a thick batter and then they wrap them in a pudding cloth. It's like calico, like a damp calico cloth, and they tie it up really tight because I've made puddings. I've made boiled puddings. They make it really tight and then they steam them or boil them that way. Like when you boil them for like 6 hours. Google peppermint bliss balls. They're made with dates. Oh yeah, I'm going to have a look at that. All right, let's have a look. So the first thing I purchased, every year I treat myself to a new support spindle. Now, those of you that know, I love support spindling. It is my my non-work related craft. I don't sell hand spun and I don't sell spindles. So whenever I buy a support spindle, it's totally for me. It's all for me. Good night, Jenny. Have a good night's sleep. And so I always get a support spindle. I like Lair of the Bearded Dragon spindles because he does just such beautiful work. Like, look at this wood. It's just beautiful. I mean, he's not the only person I buy spindles from. I also like Scott Snyder, and I like Malcolm Fielding and Jenkins and Jim Leslie, and like there's heaps that I like. But these guys are opposite me at Bendigo, so I stare at them the whole time I'm there. So yeah, so it's a beautiful spindle. It's quite heavy for me. I don't normally go quite this heavy. This one's 43 grams, but it is just the length I like. I do like the shorter lengths, so yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, so I got this, which this is like the guaranteed thing. Each year I buy a spindle. Sometimes I also buy a spindle bowl if they're really pretty. But I've got heaps of spindle bowls, and I just wanted another spindle. So I got this guy. Oops. Let's break it. It's very pretty. No, that's not the one with the bit of turquoise in it. I think Emma got that one. Tanya says, I bought my first spindle at the show. Who did you get, Tanya? And then that was my first purchase. Then my second purchase was these delicious undyed gorgeous, look how lofty and it's Rambouillet and Tussar silk. I got it from Cat and Sparrow Fibers. Kathy and Will, they're in the stall next to mine. I was staring at these for so long, and Emma went and bought some, and then I patted it, and that was it. I had to go and get some. So I got these from those guys. But I'm just tragic. I also got some... Oh no, I was going to blend it with... This is the Rambouillet I bought from them last year. And so I'm going to spin them all together and make something. So I've got lots of Rambouillet and some Tussar silk. So I pulled those out of my stash to store with them. But I bought those last year. But I bought this unicorn mixed bag, which is all these little 23 micron merino puffs of colour with a sparkly one. And so there's 250 grams of yarn in here. I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but it was too cute. I had to get it. Do you guys ever do that where you just go, oh my God, cute overload, mine. So, yeah, I had to do that. Oh, someone's talking about a demo. Hang on a second. I've just got to scroll back because I don't know what you're talking about because I was waxing lyrical about other stuff. It's a beautiful... there we go. You should... I should do a video using it. I will. I totally will. I'll put a video up. I do have a couple of support spindling videos up on YouTube. Tanya got a Frank Williams. Oh, I don't know that name. I'll have to have a look. So yeah. So I just have to go mine. I'm having that one. Oh, it is. It's 11 o'clock, you guys. But we go till 11:30, so we're good. We're good. I have one like that, but autumn colours. Oh, awesome. So this is what I got from... thank you, Kim. Kim's popped up some support spindles. Is that different to a drop spindle? Totally. Totally different to a drop spindle. So drop spindles you hold suspended and you keep your arm up and you draft and draft and draft and spin it that way. Support spindles go in a little bowl and they can sit on your lap or a table. And I'll just take that off. And you just... I can't see anything. And you just spin it and draft that way. Or that way, depending on your hands. What have I done? Did I scratch it? I did. I've given it a little scratch. Good on me. But yeah, you just spin and spin and spin. And just keep it spinning. And the more it spins... I turned that on its side, so I slowed it down. So yeah, so beautiful spindles. Anyway, I'll put that back away because we're going to get out the next bag of treats. Alright, so those guys, which I did not buy this year, I bought those last year. Like I said, I bought tons of stuff last year and then haven't touched it. So I have a plan now. I have a plan. I'm going to make something. I don't know what I'm going to make, but I'm going to make something. Then I was hanging out chatting with Wendy from Beer Shiva. So, did someone super chat? And I missed it. How did I miss a super chat? I don't think I've ever seen one in use. Oh, there you go. Daigo, did I miss a super chat and not see it? Because if I did, I'm very sorry. That's terrible if I've missed one. I'll have to have a dig through, you guys. But I'll do it in a second. So if you super chatted me and I've missed it, I'm dreadfully sorry. But I will go back and have a scroll through and see if I can find it after I talk about what's in this bag. So then I was hanging out with Wendy from Beersheba, and I purchased some of her gorgeous Castledale, which is a breed that she has. Like she's the farmer as well as, so she has the sheep and then she gets it processed into top. I can't describe how this feels, honestly. This is just unbelievable. Like a lot of people are like, oh, 24 micron. I love 24 micron as long as it is clean and it's not short and gets itchy. If it's longer, it's beautiful. It spins in. Anyway, it's not all about the micron. It's all about how it's spun. That's a discussion for another day. So, oh, well, I'm going to go for another half an hour anyway, you guys. You guys don't have to super chat to make me go longer. Everyone's saying, okay, so maybe I didn't miss one. Emma says Castledale is amazing to spin. I haven't spun it yet. Oh, Daigo, I understand now. I'm sorry. Thank you. That's so sweet. Stacey says, I love her fibre. It's awesome to spin. It's my favourite. So I went to her stall and I purchased, hang on, I've got to do some digging here because there's a few. This is where I went slightly crazy. And like I didn't go completely mental. I had a plan. So hang on. I've just got to, because I bought one that's different and I'm just trying to find the one that's different. So I was at her stall. Is that it? It feels different. Oh, just hit the camera. Yes. So I was at her stall and I picked up 100 grams of the Castledale. No, 200 grams of the Castledale, right? And 200 grams of her Duchess, which Duchess is her luxury, and it is Merino and Castledale. So her farm merino, which she has delicious merino, and then also the yearling Castledale blended with A-grade mulberry and tussar silks. So there's just a little, there's only 5% silk, but oh my gosh. This light's killing it, but it's so soft and it's just delicious. So I had those. I bought these two. I was being very restrained, you see. And I bought these two. And then I was like, this Castledale, like I love this. And I'm going to spin for a shawl for that. But this Castledale, it's so open and just lofty. And I was talking to Emma because Emma's my go-to gal when I'm in Bendigo. And then I was just like, I want to spin for a jumper. I have not actually planned a spin for a jumper. I've spun and then thought, oh, I could make a jumper for that. But I've never actually planned it. And I thought if I buy it undyed, I can spin it. Then I can dye it whatever color I want. And I could make myself a little sweater or something. So I went back and I bought more. So I have 800 grams of Castledale and just the 200 of Duchess because I'm going to make something else with that. So yeah, so I'm going to spin the Castledale for a jumper. So there's no time frame for this, people. Fibre does not go off. I can take as long as I want. As long as I don't compact it or felt it or something dreadful happens to it. It won't go off by sitting in my stash drawer. I'm just putting these back away so that they don't get dirty. So yeah, so that was my Bendigo haul. So I was very restrained and I was going to be even more restrained until I was like, I shall have to purchase more of this. So yeah, so that was that. So let me just dig through this chat here because I've been talking and looking at fluff. So I haven't been watching the chat because I'm, you know, mean that way. Totally mean. I'll bring my knitting back. I have missed some stuff. Kim says, I have inherited a spinning wheel and I'm yet to start. Totally need to start. Stacey loves the Duchess. Sally says, we have a small fibre fest happening next weekend here in Adelaide and I hope I find all the yummy things. I hope you do too. Loads of videos on YouTube to learn from. Yeah, totally. Jackie says, I have her rainbow castle down and it's lovely. Yeah, I was looking at the colours and I'm thinking, should I just buy it already dyed? And then I was like, nah, I'll spin it undyed and then I can decide what I'm going to do with it later. Could I dye the sweater after it's made? Technically, I could. And then you could kind of dip dye it and go like darker to lighter or something. The catch is if something happens, you know, if you lose track of time or what have you, you could destroy it. And then you haven't just trashed the fibre or trashed the yarn. You've trashed all that knitting as well. So I tend to dye it after I've spun it. I know a lot of people like to dye it, then spin it, but I prefer to dye it, then spin. I prefer to spin it, then dye it, then knit it. But you can totally do it in any order. I just get a bit nervous. What weight will you spin for your jumper? I'm probably thinking a DK or a worsted at this stage. I want something a little bit squishy and comfy, because like that's the thing. I don't have, I'm in Queensland, we don't need a lot of jumpers, and it would definitely be like an open cardigan thing because it's what I like. But I want something that's squishy, that's like, Emma makes these amazing things and every year she's got some new U-Butte basically cuddle that she's wearing that she's knitted throughout the year, and I'm just like totally jealous. So she's got like some sort of grandpa sweater thing that she made this year, and I'm like, I want to make something like that. Excuse me. And she did it in like 5 minutes. It felt like it wasn't 5 minutes, but it totally felt like 5 minutes, and I'm very jealous. I always like the way you're already justifying taking your time. Yeah, I know me. I totally know me. I am shocking. Good to know any order is okay. Yeah. So how do you know what weight you are spinning it? You can plan it and you can test the yarn as you're spinning it. There's different ways and different tools to do that, to make sure that you're spinning consistently across all of your bobbins. You'll spot it when you start watching some of the videos. They talk about it a little bit, and you can plan how you're going to spin it. And it depends on how much yarn you feed it at one time, so you're drafting and what have you. But you can totally plan it. And some people don't. Some people just spin and then stash the yarn, which is what I normally do. I normally just spin for enjoyment, and then whatever the fibre wants to be, that's what it's going to be. But something like this, I totally want to plan it out. So I'll find a pattern first, then spin for the pattern, then dye the yarn, and then knit it. Rushing never works, Kim. I agree, Freaky Geek. Will you be able to spin that big? You seem to default to lace weight. Yeah, I do seem to default to lace weight and 4-ply. And it will take some concentration because my fingers will automatically keep thinking I've got too much fibre and try to thin it out. But I'm going to practice, and I've got some other fibres here that I'm going to practice with to get used to going back to chunky again, because I've done chunky, and I do chunky every now and again because I like to make sure I don't forget. But yeah, I can totally do it. I'll have to think about it more. It won't be like a mindless spin like when I'm watching TV or something. I'll still have the TV on, but it'll be something I've already watched because I'll be watching my hands a lot to make sure I'm going right. And once once you've been spinning for an hour or so and you're happy with it, then you've got the feel for how it's supposed to be. Sally, if she can't lift it, it's too heavy is my guess. Oh dear. Oh dang, I never fed nothing when I spun, I just drafted. Oh, you've been hanging out. I was about to say you've been hanging out with Freaky Geek, but it was Freaky Geek. Oh dear. I have to run. So good to see. Thank you, Claire. It's good to have you in chat again, and we'll see you next time. How long will it take you to spin the new purchases with last year's purchase? Well, probably not long once I start, but there's a little while before I get started, I'm sure, because I want to get this done, and I want to finish. I've got some stuff that I'm plying that I spun years ago and have been sitting on bobbins, so I'm plying them together, but I am using my e-spinner for that, so it's going a bit quicker. Will you be wheel spinning it? Yes, absolutely. I've got my Suzy Pro and I'll be using my wheel for that. It's going to be a special treat for myself. I'm not going to e-spin it. I may e-ply it if I get desperate, but I will totally be hand spinning on my wheel. Stacey says, spinning chunky feels the bobbins quickly and keeps you interested. Totally it does, yeah. So I'm planning on, I've got a lot of bobbins, so that's good, because what I will try to do is I'll try to not ply the first and second bobbin together and then the third and fourth bobbin together. I'll try to mix it up, and I'll mark the bobbins as I fill them, so that you've got spinning. Like knitting, your tension changes. If you're stressed, if something happens, it can make you treadle faster, or something that might change your twist a little bit throughout your yarn. So it's a good idea to mix your bobbins up from different days of spinning if you can. I quite often spin one bobbin and ply it back on itself. Kirby wants to know which circulars I'm using. I'm using the ChowGoo interchangeables in bamboo. They've got the nylon twist, so this twists around so I don't get kinks. What about your eel? I love my little eel and I think it's fantastic, but I do tend to use it for different projects. I will have it there just in case I need to, and that's why I was saying I may ply onto it. But the bobbins on the eel are a fair bit smaller than my Margicraft standard bobbins, so while it's fun and useful, it is not... I have to break the yarn a lot to fit them onto that bobbin. I don't like breaking the yarn. I'm going to try and just stick with my Margicrafts for this. You're out of camera on the project. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. I appreciate you letting me know. Whoa, all this spinning terminology. Yeah, it's one of those things. It does get a bit crazy with all the different words that we use for things, and it gets confusing when the same word for knitting and that we use in spinning, but they mean different things, because that gets confusing, like plies. Visit more, learn to lot. Visit more, learn lots. Yes, totally. So this yarn that I'm currently knitting is self-striping. Yeah, it totally is. It's just in these little balls, and yeah, it's definitely self-striping. So I'm just going. It's really good for that. Kirby says, fingers crossed I get ChowGoos by Christmas for myself. Every time I save it up enough, something comes up. Kirby, you're in the US, honey. Keep an eye on Amazon. Some people sell those sets ridiculously cheap on Amazon. I don't even know how they do it, because we all pay the same, because I pay for mine in US dollars. And I think they're selling them under cost. So keep an eye out on the sets on Amazon, honestly. Are you any closer to finding a new shop? I have some feelers out, but we're going in a slightly different direction. I'll have more information in the next couple of weeks for you guys about Fibrific HQ. Nothing is set in stone yet, and we've got some stuff happening at home, and it's making it a bit more difficult. That makes it sound bad. What we're trying to do is we want to sell and move house closer to where my daughter goes to school, because at the moment I spend 2 hours a day being the mum taxi, and that's just me driving to school, dropping her off, and then coming home again. That's an hour each way, each morning and afternoon. And it's a bit much, honestly, when I'm trying to do work and stuff like that. And it feels, not that it's her fault, because I chose the school. She would have been much happier to go to a closer one. Let me tell you that right now. But yeah, so I want to move somewhere closer to Abby's school. And if I rent some of the spaces that are available in my area now, it'll mean I still have to commute back all that way every day. So we're looking at some alternative options temporarily, but it still means getting the stuff out of my house, because I'm not coping mentally. I can't turn off. There is literally nowhere to go in my house that there is not part of Fibrific HQ, except for my daughter's bedroom. Like, in my bedroom is where all the YouTube gear is stacked. You walk in the front door and you are like, there's racks of all the stock for me to pack orders. My lounge room has got, like, it's out of shot and I don't intend to show you, but over here is just an entire table and shelf full of boxes and stuff for making blinglets and all that sort of stuff. My kitchen is is empty. There's nothing in my kitchen, but my back patio has all the dyeing stuff. Like, there is no, we can't use the piano because there's racks of stock blocking the piano. Like, it's just chaos here at the moment. And my brain's not coping with it. I got very used to going to work and coming home and it being separated. And I was only doing that for a short amount of time, but the business grew in that short amount of time. It takes up different space now, and I need to get it out of the house. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. My brother hasn't been over for some time, so he hasn't done the tour of Fiberific HQ at home. Thank God, that would be bad. What is a blinglet? Do I have a pack handy? I can get a pack. Hang on a second. Chuck them on the ground, Chantel. Chuck them on the ground. Could you guys see mess? Oh gosh, I forgot that I was hiding mess with my body. So blinglets are the stitch markers that I started making. I make them in an array of different colours, all different colours. These are the small ones, so these will work up to 3 millimeters. And what it is a copper ring that I've put a Japanese bead onto, and then I jeweler cement the bead to the join. So especially when you're knitting lace, they don't snag anything. And yeah, so that was, that was what was frustrating me, because I knit a lot of lace, and a lot of the stitch markers that I had were dangly or just too big, basically. So I came up with the blinglets. I do them in some different sizes. Sorry, I moved around and my asthma's been playing up, so I'm a bit short of breath now. Sorry. And so, yeah, so I make them and they don't snag in your yarn. They don't cut your yarn. I just love blinglets so much. I'm just such a tragic. If my business stopped tomorrow, I'd still make blinglets for myself. Kim says, I feel you should source steel rings so that we can use the magnetic necklaces. I'm not going to change how I make them just so that they can go on the Knitter's Pride necklaces. No. I like the copper ones. I don't know what it is about the copper versus stainless steel. I know you can get coloured stainless, like the coloured steel rings, but I definitely prefer the copper. So yeah, so blinglets are just a really nice stitch marker that don't catch in your knitting. Because I am a knitter and a lace knitter, the frustration of having to deal if your stitch marker destroys your knitting or gets caught or tangles up, or anyway, it's annoying. Oh, Crochet Clock wants to know if anyone's heard about the Mystery Lace Club. Well, I'm just going to do this. Bing! The Mystery Lace Club. Oh no, I've changed the camera. Oh, bugger. All right, we'll go back there. Mystery Lace Club. I zoomed in with the thing to hide all the mess on the table. Mystery Lace Club is a monthly subscription where you receive a parcel, and in your parcel you get yarn hand dyed by me that I've specifically dyed knowing what the pattern's going to be to make sure it works. So far we've had pretty decent success, right guys? Those of you that are in the Mystery Lace Club. You get pretty much everything you need to make the pattern. If the pattern says beads, you get beads. If the pattern, it's got everything you need, except for your knitting needles. So because I figured most of you have your own knitting needles, so I don't want to include those because that would have also increased the cost each month. If you're in Australia, it's $50 a month, including your shipping. If you pay by the 20th of a month, your first shipment will be the 20th of the next month. Did I get any interest in the MLC at Bendigo? Some people talked about it, but I haven't noticed any actual action. Does that make sense? So yeah, so we'll just keep having fun ourselves, I think, for now. I'm going to do a big push on the Mystery Lace Club advertising wise soon, change up some bits and bobs, put some of the photos of some of the finished projects in, because it's a little bit, because I was trying to keep it secret, because each month it's secret. You don't know what you're getting until you get it. So I wanted to keep it like mystery kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so like, and you also get like little chocolates and little treats, and I find little things to sprinkle in to make it like a present every month that you get that you've bought for yourself. Just checking, there was a car noise, but it's not here. Am I in the, I need to move over a bit. Are there easy patterns for beginners? There haven't been so far, or they're not, I don't know, like I think it comes down to what are you prepared to learn. I know that Andrea has been knitting stuff, and she's a beginner knitter, and so she has been sort of needing lots of videos and a bit of help, but getting through and making some beautiful things. You need to mention the lollies and chocolates that come. They do, yeah. There's always like little sweet treats. Freaky Geek says, I think those are too big to send in the post. I agree, Freaky Geek. I agree. But I've got a pattern coming up soon that is a bit easier. That's actually a really gorgeous, cute pattern, but it's actually not too tricky, which I think is good. But we do have a lot of fun with it. But the thing to remember is it's a mystery lace club. And while every pattern has lace in it, it's not always lace weight yarn. So we had a beautiful beanie and cowl set that used 4-ply. And we've had a couple of things that used a few different 4-plies. We've used some lace weight as well. I'm only very new to lace knitting, and some of them have been challenging, but I've loved every minute of it. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Andrea. I might have to get you to write a review for the Mystery Lace Club. Cindy says, lace is hard for me. I keep getting off count. I've been working on a shawl forever. Cindy, all I can say is stitch markers, honey. I put stitch markers in for every single repeat. I would consider myself, I wouldn't say an advanced lace knitter, but definitely intermediate, moving towards advanced. And I still use stitch markers for every single repeat. It's what I do. It's just how I do it. Oh my God, I just got home and you're still here. I am still here. We've got like 10 more minutes to go. Hi. I've got you a yarn, by the way. I've got to send you your invoice. Do you design the patterns? No, I do not. I speak to designers from all over the world, and I buy their patterns from them. And so we have, I have permission to use them in the Mystery Lace Club. But they are all patterns that you would normally need to pay for. I don't personally design much at all. I do little things for teaching techniques, but I'm not a designer. I'm a dyer, and I enjoy dyeing, and I like dyeing for patterns. It's fun, but no, I wouldn't consider myself a designer. Where are we? Hey, Pam's made it as well. Mystery Lace Club. Andrew says, I can do that. Mystery Lace Club is awesome. Just do it. How's that? That'll do. Lynn says, I'm a very beginner. Hang on a second. It moved. I've hesitated with the MLC because I'm a very beginner knitter. It's one of those things that the other thing to remember is while I'm sending a pattern and I'm sending yarn and the things that you need for it, there's no rule that says you have to use it for that. If you get a yarn in a box and then go, oh, that's nice, but that pattern's not for me, you can use that yarn for whatever you want. There's normally at least 100 grams of yarn. There's always enough to complete a project. So you could always repurpose it to something you're more comfortable with if that's what you want to do. Alison says, same here, heaps of stitch markers and the odd lifeline. Yeah, a lifeline's a win. Kylie's going to go and do some work. Bye, Kylie. Have a good day. Jennifer says, I've been in the Mystery Lace Club since it started and I've not knitted everything, but the yarn is to die for. I know, like, quite a few of you don't knit everything. There's a couple that are like die hard every month, which I'm just like so blown away by, that get everything finished every month. And you're just like, oh my God. But I mean, it's supposed to be enjoyable. And at the end of the day, it's your yarn. You make what you want with it. But yeah, the yarn's always good. I see it as like, I'm charging a premium price for this and you will get premium product. You will never get a scratchy, horrible yarn. You may get a yarn you may not particularly like the colorway because, you know, bright might not be you, or subtle might not be you, or soft tones might not be you. But I try to keep it all really mixed up, so at some stage everyone gets something that they like. Sally says I do the knit crate. There you go. Kim says you could always hoard them until you feel ready to tackle it, like Kim does. Kim hoards them. They're in a stack, like boom, 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 because they come in boxes. Do some basic knitting patterns until you feel your skills are up to it. I totally agree with that. Boo Knits has a beautiful shawl pattern that's free. It's called Dragonfly Wings. And it is a fantastic beginner beading project if you want to try one. I made mine with 4-ply and big beads. It's great. It's just lovely. But again, free, no cost to try. You've probably got, I think I didn't even use 100 grams for it. So you've probably got a skein of 4-ply somewhere that you like. You know, you don't have to bead it. You can just try the lace. So yeah. Where are we? Pam says the language of patterns. Why isn't there a universal code? There isn't for crochet, but there pretty much is for knitting. Andrea says I only completed 2 knitted projects before joining the Mystery Lace Club. So if I can do it, anyone can. Or ask Kim or Chantel how many times I've had to frog stuff before I get it right. Yeah, like I frog stuff. I frog stuff all the time. The pattern was it was Boo Knits Dragonfly Wings. And I've also, if you look at on my website or on Craftsy or on Ravelry, I've got Dragonfly Wing mitts, which Bev let me use the actual chart for her lace, and I adapted it into little, not mitts, wristlets, so that you could practice it on a much smaller scale. So if you wanted to try that, and I wear them to Bendigo every year, they're lovely. Kim says I'd only done 1 lace project previously, which was with chunky yarn, and the first box was totally out of my comfort zone, but I did it. And the feeling of accomplishment is awesome. And it's stunning. I took it to Bendigo. If anyone saw the beautiful grey and pinky coloured shawl that was hanging up on my stall, that was Kim's Mystery Lace Club. Maria's got to go. Bye, Maria. Catch you next week. Same time. We'll be back next week, you know, unless I'm dying or something. That is a beginner's beading one for me for sure. Yeah, it's totally beginner. And it's smallish and it's with 4-ply. It's not with fine lace weight. So I would totally give it a go and give yourself an opportunity to learn. You're learning new skills. So be prepared for a little fail and then just keep going, keep going, keep going. Kirby says, I'm going to pause my blanket whip to do a cal for a pair of fingerless gloves. You got to do that sometimes. Blankets are big projects and sometimes you just need a break from working on them. Thank you for the link, Kim. I appreciate that. Indeed, thanks for the link. Yeah, it's got good pictures. And then Kim's put the wristlets up as well. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate that. With the wristlets, you just need 25 grams of sock yarn, some circulars. I think I have double checked, but 100 beads. I think size 6 beads I used. I'd have to have a look. I can't remember. Don't forget to right click the links, guys, because if you left click those links, you will disappear. So yeah, she's super quick at the links. You gotta love that. It's awesome. Excuse me. So have you guys, I'm planning, before I run away, I don't know how many of you are still here to ask. I should have asked this at the start. The dye videos, so YouTube live dyes, the things we do on the back patio. Do you guys want to see another one of those? I was thinking of maybe making, excuse me, one tonight. No, I just read Kim's message. I've been thinking of doing one a month that's a dye stream. And we can just play with colour and have fun. How would you feel about that? Even if we just do one. I'm thinking I don't want to do it on the same nights, on the same days that we have caffeinated crafters, because otherwise it ends up being a very long day for me. Because after the dye stream finishes, I continue dyeing because everything's out and ready. So I would definitely be probably thinking about setting one up next week and doing them. We'd have to plan it out, but I'm thinking the second Thursdays of each month make that the dye stream video, so we all know, you know, second Thursdays, we're gonna dye yarn. We're gonna dye yarn. I should finish that sentence. Lots of yeses. People like those. That's good. Everyone's loving the dye videos. That's awesome. I love dyeing. Dyeing is so much fun, and I'm not technical. So if you guys want like technical stuff, then I'm totally not the dye to watch. Kim says, you mean as well as a live stream? No, a dye live stream. So not 2 live streams in one day. I'm talking about a dye live stream like the ones we did while I was getting ready for Bendigo. And so, so once a month I'll do the dye stream over the pots instead of a sitting inside crafting one. So it's instead dye stream. Dye stream, does that sound wrong? That doesn't sound wrong. So yeah, oops, I forgot to do my yarn over. Hang on a second. Go back. Yarn over, then knit. And then, yeah, so I'm thinking about the second Thursdays, because on the first and third Thursdays, we have Caffeinated Crafters. For those of you that are local, we meet up at the Browns Plains Coffee Club, not the one in the shopping centre, but the one in Village Square. And we sit and natter and drink coffee and eat dinner and laugh and be naughty is basically what we do. Freaky Geek says she's only got 1 month left before Dart starts again and she has to start missing the live feeds. But you'll surely enjoy the funeral wool colouring. I've noticed, actually, you guys, a lot more people watch the playbacks of the dye videos than they do of me just, you know. I mean, I enjoy these with us, but I don't think it's as enjoyable to watch the replay as it is in the dyeing ones. So, yeah. No, I thought you were going to do as well, maybe at a different day. No, not at this stage. I'm going to be planning out some stuff coming up for next year to try and increase the frequency of videos. I used to put out a lot more pre-recorded stuff and also the live stream, and I've gotten really slack. And then now the problem of nowhere to do it makes it a bit harder, and I feel weird even doing this. I'm just sitting in the middle of my lounge room. I put a table here. It's like, hi world. So yeah, so it's one of those things. But once we get going again and we get some space, I'll try and get some more how-to videos. We'll get another spindling video out. I've got a beginner one out, but maybe we can have a bit more talk about the different kind of spindles. Kim says maybe I could live stream me trying to find you a new house. Stalker videos. I think there might be laws about that. The dye videos are so much fun. I enjoy the weekly chats as normal, but the dye ones are so interesting and I love that we get to participate. Yeah, it's fun, and I love that I can be like, hey, I've got these colours, what should we do with them? And I think it's enjoyable for me as well, just to see what happens. So, and that's what I like about dyeing, is it's so experimental. Like, you can set things up to dye the same colourway every time and make it repeatable, and that's awesome because we need those. But it's also so much fun just to experiment and go, wonder what'll happen if I put these 2 colours together. And I love that. I totally love it. Spindles would be great. Yeah, I'm totally going to be doing spindles. Dye goes back. Hey, Oreo. She totally would. I'm just going to say she totally would, Freaky Geek. So she would totally try and do a live stream of finding my house and advertise my house all over the internet. Not that it's not already there. It's totally there. My current house, my little box. But yeah, so we've got some stuff happening. We've got some things in the works. It's all exciting. It's a little overwhelming. But Bendigo is done and dusted for this year. I'm looking at trying to do some extra bits and bobs. I'm going to be trying very, very hard to make special craft time just for me. Because I've realized how much I've missed it. And even just doing something as simple as this, just while I was watching TV last night, that was not in any way work related. It's commercial yarn. It's not for me. It's not for the shop. But yeah. She always takes... yeah. Kirby says, I'd love to do lives, but I have no equipment. Do you have a smartphone? Because if you have a smartphone, you can do lives. You don't need equipment for it. I do, because I do this. I've got a webcam here. I've got the laptop there. And that's what I use. And I've got a microphone. But you can totally put your little phone, prop it up and do it that way. You don't need equipment. Phones these days are so awesome. I was reading an article that the Spike Milligan movies that they made years and years ago did not have the filming capacity of the current mobile phone. We get to help name the yarn too. You totally get to name the yarn. I'm like, you guys can do that all the time now. I'm spoiled. I really love the dying lives and the naming ones as well, but I'm a tad impatient waiting for them to try to see the result. Me too. Me too. Stupid yarn. As it gets warmer, they'll be quicker to dry. So, Marion says, I just had my first go at eco dyeing with black beans. It worked really well. Oh, I'd love to see pictures of that, Marion. Would you mind popping those over in the Mystery Lace Club? Not Mystery Lace Club, the Fiberific Fun Zone. That's so true about phones and film movies. Yeah, it's unbelievable what a mobile phone can do now. There are whole channels that use a mobile phone entirely. And we've had to use the phone before for plenty of things. Did Fuchsia Storm sell well? It did. It has. I think it's sold out. I'd have to double check, but I think it's gone. I think it's all gone. And I actually have not checked the website. I have not gone through the yarn bag yet. There was only 2 bags of yarn to come back, and I took down 4. And they were 4 big bags, and I've brought back 2 little bags. So a lot of yarn sold. So I've got to go through all that and sort out what I've still got and get it up on the website so you guys can, see what's left, and we can try and replicate some based off the video to see if we can do it. That would be cool as well. Freaky Geek is asking, when you hang wool to dry, how long does it take? It really depends on the weather, but an average winter's day, it takes all day. And I actually wash, because after it's dyed, that's not the last step. So after I dye it, I actually wash it and rinse it with the Tan-Tech Delicate Wash, just the tiniest amount in the water, just to double check no dye is going to come out, because that would be the worst. The thought of that happening stresses me out every time I dye yarn. And so I give it a little wash, and then I pop it in the spin dryer, washing machine spin cycle. So it gets most of the moisture out. But on these winter cold days, it can take 6-7 hours for it to dry, and then I'm still bringing it inside and putting it in front of the air conditioner while we have tea. In summer, however, they can dry in a couple of hours. So yeah, selling out must be a good thing. Selling out feels great. It felt really good. Yeah, I think it's all gone. I'll have to double check. I'm still film my tutorials on my iPhone, but for my lives I use a nicer webcam and my MacBook on board. I don't think I'll ever move from filming my tutorials on the phone. Yeah, because the phones, you can pop them onto a little tripod and you can get them in that right angle to see your hands. So when I'm filming actual tutorials, I've only just recently bought a second proper camera, but I used to do all my tutorials with a normal Canon camera over here for doing my face shots. Then I'd have my phone in a little tripod under the camera line so you couldn't see it normally. There's somewhere you can. And that's what gets all your hands down shots, because you can get it on a good angle. So phone cameras are great. Andrew has survived the chat with no frogging. Well, you may have just counted your chickens too early. Sorry, what do you wash it with? I wash it with Tan-Tech Delicate Wash. When you normally wash it for blocking, it recommends 20 mils. I probably put 5 mils in a sink. I just want a little bit, just to give it a bit of a swish. Salty water helps to wash. Salty water will help if your yarn is running. I want to know if it's running first, so I don't salt the water. And if it does run, I put it back in an acid bath and heat it for longer until it stops being naughty, basically. Oreo says it's so dry here that the water, the faucet water evaporates before it hits the basin. Oh, you'd totally be able to dry yarn so fast. We have such humid hot weather here. Even in the heat, even on a hot day, it's so humid. It's not dry at all. Freaky Geek says, I used for the first time something called Eucalan for my handspun. Eucalan's supposed to be quite nice. I haven't used it, but it's supposed to be quite good. Right click for the Tan-Tech. Oh, thank you, Kim. Mystery Lace Club members received a sample bottle of Tan-Tech in one of their Mystery Lace Club boxes so they could wash their bits and pieces with it. So yeah, so Tentec makes some great products. They're Australian made. And they're made locally. The guy actually delivers it here to my house. So it's really handy. And yeah, they're just lovely. They're such a lovely couple. Next dye, you can make a yarn inspired by cheesecake. Oh, but then what kind of cheesecake? Because there's so many different cheesecake flavors. And then we could make a kit that's got like a cheesecake yarn and a coffee yarn. And make it like morning tea. It smells like koalas. I don't know if smelling like a koala is a good thing. Cherry cheesecake. Oh, so that would be like undyed cream with swirly pink and red. Oh my gosh, my mouth just started watering. That's terrible. I really need to have some breakfast. Oh, you guys. Hey, we've gone so over time, but like totally not caring right now. So yeah, so we'll do a dye stream next week. We've got Caffeinated Crafters tonight. So if you're a local in Brisbane, you should totally come down and visit and play. Because that's all we're doing. We just play. We just have a good time. Pay out the staff. They're fun, the staff. I know. Everyone's making me so hungry. And we're back to food talk. Exactly. Who did that? Let me look here. Who are we blaming this time? We are blaming Kim. Kim Nelson. Your fault this time. Or else it's usually soggy here, but the Central Plains are so dry this year, it's kind of terrifying. We're having some problems for our farmers. That it's sad, actually. It's very sad. I was wondering when you would notice the time. Oh, I noticed the time. I looked at it when it was 11:28, but I just kept going. We missed 2 weeks, you guys. I don't mind going a bit longer if you're still here. I'm hoping like mad that Grace doesn't want to go to Taekwondo. You might have to like give her food poisoning or something. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I can't believe I said that out loud. Oh, was it Kirby? Sorry, Lynn. Sorry, Lynn. Didn't mean to blame you. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. No. Let's not plan what time we're going to be going for. We're just going until we get bored. Are we bored yet? Are you guys bored? Fires out near Calabar yesterday. It's so dry. Yeah, it's dreadfully dry. Oh, stop that. Please tell me what you're knitting. Oh, Marion. Sorry, you joined in late, didn't you? I'm making a baby rug for my brand new niece. She's so cute. I'm using, I have to say this word again, you guys, Toot Garuk cotton 4-ply that I picked up at Spotlight. Excuse me, I think I'm using 3.25 mil. Let me look. Yeah, 3.25 mil needles, and it's just it's a corner to corner job. So I'm just going out for 2 balls and then back for 2 balls. So I haven't finished the first ball yet. There's still this much to go, but it's so pretty, and this cotton is so soft and squishy. I'm not entirely happy with how this little corner started. I'm not sure if you can see that. I might have to try and do some blocking magic with that. I don't normally block baby rugs too much because I know that mum is just going to be like frazzled and they're not going to block it. So yeah, so that's what I'm making there. I don't have I think it is that Lion Brand one. I'll pop it over in the Fibrific Fun Zone. It's a freebie. It's easy, which I love. It's just all knit except for a yarn over at the 4th, like between the 3rd and 4th stitch on the when you first start. Never bored. No one's bored. Mel is saying, I just used this time to finish my first ever colourwork project and first time ever using Magic Loop. Congratulations, Mel. Can you pop photos over in the Fibrific Fun Zone on Facebook? That would be awesome. I'd love to see it. It was me. I admit it. I like cheesecake. Well, Kirby, me too. I worked very hard to get this physique. No, it's actually, I don't know if you guys can tell. My face always looks weird on camera, but I've lost like 5 kilos since my knee surgery because I've been able to move a bit more. So I'm actually really excited to get out and do things. Oh, another thing. Oh, what was that with my hands? I'm going to be in Melbourne for VidCon. So if anyone wants to meet me up in Melbourne for lunch on Friday, the 31st, I think it is, 31st of August, whatever that last Friday is, Would totally love to meet up for lunch again. We did that last year when I came to VidCon, and it was so much fun, and I'd love to do it again. Looks like Tutti Frutti Gelato. Yeah, it's such pretty colours. I really like it. Magic Loop eludes me. I'm not the hugest fan of Magic Loop, but I will totally use it if I don't have the right size circulars. What is VidCon? VidCon is VIDCON. It is a convention for YouTubers. So it is all sorts of YouTubers, hardly any craft YouTubers in Australia actually, that go. There's heaps that exist, but hardly any go. And you watch panels and do workshops and all sorts of stuff. And it's at the Melbourne Convention Centre, but there's all different passes you can get. So I buy a creator pass so I can go and see all the how to make better videos kind of things. But there's also a community pass that you can buy. So you get to go and you can do meet and greets and all sorts of fun stuff with YouTubers. So yeah, so it's a huge YouTube gathering, and it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of good time last year. We can eat cows again. Oh, that was insane, wasn't it? What did we order? We ordered something and the plate was just like, there is half a cow. It was very good, but yeah, I was a bit shocked. Tutti Frutti Gelato would be a good name for that yarn. Yeah, I think anything's better than Toot Garook. They don't actually name the colour. It's got a number, so I don't know what they've called it. Love the colours. The colours are gorgeous. Crochet Clock says, we just had ours in the US last month. It was a massive gathering. US is huge. You guys get like 30,000 people. We get like 6,000 people. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And I made this time last year, I was so stressed about going because I didn't know anyone who was going to be there, and my leg was already hurting a little bit, and I knew I was going to be having to deal with like stuff, like people and stuff. But the surprising thing was, I think Freaky Geeks just said I don't like large crowds. I don't like groups of people at all. And I was really stressed about the crowds, but something I really noticed is because it's at the convention centres and it's taking up so many different spaces, there's always just, sometimes you just look around going, where is everybody? There's 6,000 people in this building and I see none of them. And it's because they're in all different workshops and panels. So you can go in, and I didn't feel crowded at any stage, which really surprised me. Chantel, if you run into the Sim supplier whose name is James Turner, take a picture with him for me. I am a complete phone girl and he is an Aussie. I'll have to look into it. Send me a PM to remind me. I'll see if he's on the Australian YouTubers page, and I'll see if he's part of that group, and I'll be like, hey dude, I need to take a photo with you for a friend. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And so this year I'm excited because I made some friends last year. And I'm looking forward to going and seeing those people. So for me, part of it's not just about the great tutorials and the discussions and the panels and the entertainment as well. It's also about catching up with people now. So will you have time to do that beanie for Chopper? Yes, that is on the cards now. I've got the yarn and I'm just sitting down. I want to finish this first, and then I'll do the beanie. But I also, this is a lot of knitting, and it's just a lot of knitting, so I'm thinking I might alternate between those two and sort of back burner all the other projects. Oops. Shh. Crochet Clock says, yeah, I can completely she does that. You can take a screenshot and switch her face for yours. What we could probably do even better is find a green screen, just get him to take a random photo by himself, and then you can just Photoshop yourself right in. Let's do that. I'll just take the photo. I'll be like, dude, I need a random photo of you standing by yourself, looking like you're taking a selfie with someone. Get Abby to help with the blanket. It's for her. Well, Abby has been doing some stitches on it, which is good. So, oh, hang on. I dropped a stitch. Did I just drop one? Yeah. Yeah, Abby's been doing some stitches and she's all like, but I ruined it. And I'm like, Abby, can you even see where your stitches are? I can't. I'm so happy with this. So easy. I'm making it a little smidge loose because I want stretch. You want to be able to stretch it to wrap the bait, to fit it on the bed or whatever. I need to go, but I don't want to say goodbye. I totally understand, Andrea. I need to go and don't want to say goodbye either. So, he almost has 1 million subs and massive following. You probably won't even be able to get close to him. Yeah, there's a good chance of that. There's a lot of people I can't get close to because I'm just me. Anyway, you guys, I think on that very sad, depressing note of it's just me, that I'm going to hit the road. I've got to get some things ready for tonight for Caffeinated Crafters. And I've also got some orders to post out, which I should have done yesterday, but I went and had fun with a friend instead. Oops, bad shop owner. So yeah, so I'm going to go and do all of those things that I need to do. I will see you guys next week. We're back to weekly. We'll probably have a change of location soonish. Fingers crossed. Cross your fingers for me, you guys. There's stuff happening in the background, so fingers crossed. Yeah. So I will see you all next week. Next Thursday, same bat time, same bat station. Bring your craft, bring your coffee. I'm going to finish this row before I run away, but that's what I'm going to do. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye.